I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is Psychacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the subject of today's short talk is, if you're in the park, you must have a ticket. This talk will be a continuation of a previous episode entitled, Life is Like Disneyland. In that episode, I used Disneyland as a metaphor for life. Remember, you can't do Disneyland wrong. If you want to ride all the rides once, that's the right way to do Disneyland for you. If you want to ride Space Mountain 50 times in a row, that's the right way to do Disneyland for you. If you just want to watch other people ride the rides, that's the right way to do Disneyland for you. You can't screw up Disneyland, and in a certain sense, you can't screw up your life. You just get to choose which rides you go on, i.e., which experiences you choose to have. So, hopefully, this metaphor helps to relieve some of the pressure associated with, quote, living correctly. That said, sometimes I talk with folks and they suffer from what you might call existential uncertainty. They're not sure why they're here, or even if they should be here, and they feel as if they have to do something in order to justify their existence. This could be getting married, having children, becoming rich, successful, being loved and respected, making their mark on history, and or achieving something great and impressive. I call these self-justification projects, and they're all doomed to failure because you cannot solve an internal problem with an external solution. What I'd like you to consider is that your life is already justified. Why? Because you're already here. You're already in the park. At Disneyland, there are hundreds of workers who are constantly employed in letting in those who should be in the park and keeping out those who shouldn't. There are fences and gates, security and guards that exist to fulfill this purpose. Therefore, we can reasonably assume that anyone inside the park is there because they had a ticket. Perhaps they're not really aware of their ticket because who really worries about their ticket after it's been used to secure entry? But that doesn't mean that they aren't supposed to be there. If you're inside the park, you must have a ticket. And if it's that hard to sneak into Disneyland, how much harder do you think it must be to sneak into existence? Without the knowledge or approval of whatever higher power or universal force is responsible for the gateway into being. You are not an exceptional oversight. You did not break and enter your way into life. And you are not the result of spiritual negligence. If you're here, it's because you should be. Now, you might not remember buying a ticket, and that's because most likely the ticket was gifted to you. You certainly didn't earn the ticket, as you might not have existed previously, and there's no need to repay the ticket, as it was given as a gift of grace. And this is a relief because what could you possibly do in your life to repay the debt associated with the opportunity to exist? All the accomplishments and achievements in the world would not be sufficient. It's not a debt that could be repaid, which is why it's not a debt that must be repaid. You can't get blood from a stone. I'd like you to consider that the ticket was a gift of grace, freely given, that needn't be earned or repaid, and that you must have been gifted one by virtue of your own existence, since only people with tickets are allowed inside the park. So this whole headache about proving that you deserve to exist is totally unnecessary. Imagine spending the day at Disneyland trying to justify that you deserve to be spending the day there. I mean, what would that even look like? If you're already in the park, there's nothing more that you need to do, though there might be plenty that you want to experience. Thanks for listening. If you like what you heard, drop a comment below. And if you'd like to schedule a consultation, you can reach me at psychackspodcast@gmail.com. Talk to you soon.